Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. Today I am taking part in Heidi Sumbul's Friend Friday Hub. There's going to be some other YouTubers are also participating, so make sure you check the description box for the next person. So today I have 4 bee DIYs for you. These are really great for home decor for spring and summer, so let's get started with DIY number 1. This is also going to be a Trash to Treasure thrift store makeover series. So I found this old vase and then I took some twine and hot glued it, and I just carried on doing that until the whole of the vase is covered with the twine. Now you don't have to use hot glue throughout, I just used hot glue on the top bit and then I just carried on wrapping it round, and then I added some more hot glue on the bottom of the vase. Then you're going to take a thicker rope, cut it into a circle and stick it with some hot glue, and then you want to stick that on the center of your vase. And then I cut 2 artificial flowers and I stuck that on the side, and I also stuck down one of these little bees. I'll leave the link to the bees in the description box. Now to make the honey, which is my secret trick, I use coloured hot glue sticks. I will leave this for you in the description box again, but if you don't have these coloured glue sticks, you can use plain ones and then just paint it gold. And then finally you're just going to take a black Sharpie pen and colour the middle part in. Moving on to DIY number 2, you're going to need a deep frame for this. I got this from Poundland. Next you're going to go onto Google, type in any background that you like, and then print that out. I just used an inkjet printer and I just printed on regular paper. Measure the inside of your frame so that you have the correct size. Once you've done that, you can cut your image and then stick it inside using some PVA or Mod Podge. Now this is just optional, but I chose to go over it with some gloss Mod Podge. This is because it just makes it look like a hand painting, and then I also sprinkled some white glitter on. You're going to need a piece or a few pieces of foam brick. You can cut it to size using your craft knife and then attach it to the bottom of your frame using some hot glue. Then you want to cover that foam brick with some moss. Again, I just used some hot glue to do this. I then took some bright artificial flowers and I cut them to various lengths and then just poked them through the floral brick. I then took some artificial sprigs and I hot glued them on the side of the frame, as well as 2 little bees. We're going to make our little bee look like he's flying in the middle of our frame. To do this, you're going to need some clear string. This is usually used for jewelry making. So you're going to cut it to size, hot glue it on the top, and then take your little bee and hot glue it on the bottom of the string. For some contrast in colour, I am taking these dried baby's breath and I'm cutting a few and just adding that inside the moss. Now I'm going to show you how to create a Ray Dunn inspired honey pot. Again, I got this from the thrift store. The lid is broken. I had to use about 4 layers of this white spray paint over it. Then I went on to Google so that I can get the exact honey Ray Dunn font, and then I took some tracing paper and I went over it with a pencil. Then you're going to take your tracing paper and place it on top of your jar in the middle, and then you're going to take your pencil and go over the writing again, this time a little harder so that when you remove the tracing paper, the writing has come through onto the jar. Once you can see that you have a rough outline of the font, you can then go over it with a marker pen. This is optional, but I just stamped a B above the honey lettering. Then I took my honey dipper and I glued that inside the jar and glued the lid to that. I tied some twine onto my honey dipper and I also took one of these flowers, cut them off and glued it on. For the honey effect, I'm using my hot glue sticks again, so I just did that all along the side of the jar and the honey dipper. To make a larger drip effect, you're going to need a foundation to build on. So I'm taking this plastic bottle and cutting a small bit off and then attaching it to my honey dipper with regular hot glue and then going over it with my honey coloured hot glue stick. And that's pretty much it, you're done with the DIY. So you can leave off and just leave it as it is, or you can attach it to a candle holder, for example. Here I am using a wicker basket tray that I got from the thrift store and I'm going to display it that way. So I'm putting in my honey pot and then I am taking some of these artificial flowers and then I'm putting those beside the honey pot, and I'm also adding in some of my bees. So that's the third DIY completed. Let's move on to the fourth and final one. So for this DIY, I am taking another old thrifted vase and then I am giving it 4 layers of spray paint. I did use chalk spray paint this time. I am making use of an old tablecloth that I had, so I'm cutting bits off and then I'm basically doing some decoupage with it. So I am using some of my matte Mod Podge and I am gluing that down, and then I went over it with some gloss Mod Podge. Then you're going to need a floral foam brick, and you want to take your vase, turn it around so that you can basically imprint it. You want to press it inside your foam brick so you've got the correct size. Then take your craft knife and cut that out. Take your foam brick and place it inside your vase, and then cover the foam brick with some hot glue and moss. Then we're going to start making our floral arrangement. So you just want a few different bouquets. You want some pliers so that you can cut the flowers off, and make sure you get some of the leaves in as well. And of course you don't have to glue anything down here, you just take each stem and press it into your foam brick. Then you want to go onto the internet and search for a bee image, print it out onto some card, cut it out and stick it with some hot glue onto some green wire. Then you want to take your wire and place it beside the flowers in the floral foam. And then I'm taking one last bee and placing that inside one of the flowers. So let's have a look at how this DIY came out. This is the final look. I love how colourful it is. It really does remind me of spring and summer, and that's what I need, especially in this lockdown. And now let's have a look at how the other 3 DIYs came out. I had so much fun doing these projects, and I really do love how beautiful and bright and colourful and vibrant they all are. Oh, it just puts you in a pleasant mood, doesn't it? I really hope that you have enjoyed every single one of these tutorials. I've worked so hard to bring them to you, so I hope that you can share this video with others. Leave me a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe if you like what you see, and leave me a comment down below if you're new or if you're coming back. Thank you so much for watching as always, and don't forget to check the next person in my description box. Take care for now, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!